Do you want to know the easiest way to get rid of old paint? Well, I've dedicated my life to figuring it out over the past month, and I'm going to tell you the secrets next. Hey RT family, Ryan Reynolds here with Keller Williams Consultants Realty, and you heard it right, I did dedicate almost the last month of my life to figuring out the very best way to get rid of old paint. And so today I'm going to show you what I found is the one way that I think is the best. What we're going to need is actually a couple of different things than last time. First thing we're going to need is a trash bag. I like to use the big lawn and garden bags because those are the best, heavy duty, and they're not going to leak. The second thing you're going to need is going to be a bin or a tub or maybe even a big box, something that you can wrap the trash bag around and put inside so that it can use to effectively hold the paint. And the third thing will be our pine pellets from the Tractor Supply store. They're just basic pine pellets that are used for rabbit bedding and other small animals, and so those seem to be the best. Now, one thing to be careful of, when I first started doing this, I actually took a can of paint, and it was about a half a can of paint, and I filled it up with the pine pellets. Well, it seemed like a good idea, except when you figure out that those pine pellets expand 2 to 3 times. Good thing the lid wasn't on it. It didn't explode or anything, but that was just over the top, kind of like popcorn, if you think of it that way. Now, it didn't happen very quickly. It took overnight, but it did make a little bit of a mess. And so I don't recommend that method, and that's why I recommend this. So let's go ahead and get into that now. Okay, so here we are with the best method. And this is, of course, using your trusty paint can opener that you purchased for 59 cents from one of the big box stores. You're gonna take your paint, and first thing you're actually gonna do is you're gonna shake it up, because one of the things about paint that's been sitting around for a long time is that it tends to clump up. And so if you shake it up, that'll release all those clumps and it'll be easier to pour out. So you're gonna do that first. So disclaimer about disclaimer. Number one is this only works for latex paints. If you have oil-based paints, those are hazardous waste. You need to get rid of those someplace else, probably through your local hazardous waste authority. Second thing is, I would not recommend wearing this kind of clothes when you're doing this kind of work, because it could get sloppy. So put on something that's less nice than this. The second thing you're going to do is not to use your key, but you're going to grab your pine chips, and you're going to pour those pine pellets. You're going to pour those into the bottom and kind of line the bottom of your bin. And then you have the tarp, of course, so that you don't make a huge mess. Then you're going to go ahead and open up your paint can. And once it's open, we're gonna go ahead and pour that into the bin. And so what that's gonna do is then you're gonna continue to do that with all the paint cans you have. And as you go, you're gonna keep adding layers of paint and layers of pine pellets. So over time, what I found is that just absorbs really quickly, not like in a few minutes, but in a few hours, but definitely overnight. And then the next day, what you do is you take your trash bag, you just tie it up, and you throw the whole thing in the trash can, because it's now solid waste instead of liquid waste. All right, last dramatic cut in. What I forgot to mention is that the cans that you poured the paint out of, those actually can be disposed of how they are, but you need to let them dry out first. And sometimes if there's a lot of extra paint left in the bottom, you might need to put some of the pine pellets in there to dry them up too. Well, that's it, I promise, I'm out. So that's how you do it. I hope you enjoyed this series and the quick tip. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about real estate, feel free to reach out. I'm Ryan Reynolds with the Ryan Reynolds team at Keller Williams Consultants Realty. As always, it's unlimited opportunities and exceptional experiences.